Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get a free ice cube. It's hot out there. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back. Well, kind of with our reaction series. As you know, sometimes I like to talk about issues and different things, and one of the things I like is you guys will DM me videos that come along, articles that come along that might be interesting to me, and this is one of those. Now I know that Stevie last week did a reaction to the GQ article coming out about Eminem stock and where he ranks and all the success that he's had over the years, and a lot of people were big mad that Eminem stock is so high and that he's still performing at such a high level. So apparently the armpit of social media and just the dark twisted sphere where everybody is right, known as Twitter, has taken to the keyboard warrior's hands yet again, and there is more controversy going on with Eminem and more being said. So let's hop in this video that you guys sent me and see what we got going on. It's gonna be magical. Let's go.
And Crook shared his thoughts on Royce's case. We also have a throwback report about Eminem, since on the 11th of July 2014, Eminem became the first rapper to headline Wembley Stadium in London, a stadium with a capacity of 90,000. And in the throwback report, many on Twitter are still salty about this Eminem record 7 years later. It's hilarious. And before we dive into the details, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at etlifestyle_web. Before we get to the latest, it's important to highlight that at the Euro finals at Wembley Stadium, before the penalty shootout began.
Shout out to those of you who support Italy. I was supporting the other side, England. So disappointed with that result. I mean, how can you have Rashford come on and take a PK without getting the game under his legs? How can you have Sancho do that? I don't understand. Put them on earlier. Let them get into it. You ask them to walk on, and the first time they touch the balls to take the biggest PK of their life? Yeah, that's just bad management. Anyways, that's side notes. That's football. Let's get back into music.
Right, that at the Euro finals at Wembley Stadium, before the penalty shootout began, the stadium DJ played Eminem's Lose Yourself. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. The same happened for the Italy versus Spain shootout, but unfortunately for England, once again they let it slip. And many on social media noticed this before the
Why do you have to say that? Once again. Once again. It's not coming home, England.
Stadium DJ adding to drama by playing Eminem Lose Yourself before penalties. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It would have been all praises if England won, but the sore losers are out now. Whoever was responsible at the game last night for playing the music, why on earth do you switch from Free From Desire during extra time to Lose Yourself before the penalties? Has to be the worst song to hear before taking penalties. Hashtag sack them.
Lose Yourself is one of the most get hype songs that you could play before anything. If that doesn't get you motivated just to punch a bear in the face, I mean, I don't know what else is going to get you hyped up to just go out and conquer your day. I mean, I used to have that on repeat in the locker room when I was about to take the field. So I get it. They're trying to say, you know, you only get one shot, don't miss your chance to blow, and then it makes you start questioning yourself. Oh, if I miss that PK, that's my one shot. Yeah, we get that. But listen, they're professionals at the end of the day. All right? Mental fortitude and strength is something they should excel in at that level, because they're going to take criticism all the time.
Has to be the worst song to hear before taking penalties. Hashtag sack them. I'm willing to bet if they had won, it would have been give that DJ a raise for motivating the players, don't you think? Now, moving on to the main topic, Double XL shared a throwback. Today in Hip Hop 2014, Eminem becomes the first rapper to headline Wembley Stadium in London. And evidently, many aren't still over the fact that Eminem has been the most profound record breaker globally in hip-hop. Some of the reaching under would have made even Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four awestruck.
Some of the reaching would have made Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four awestruck. Is he dropping bars on us right now as he's covering the news? This is great. Let me cover a news story, but let me just drop some punchlines in there and just mix it up. Never take my news this way.
Thunder would have made even Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four awestruck. Sadie had to ruin his legacy by dropping anything after MMLP2 before people say greatest selling rapper. That doesn't matter. Perhaps this matters. A scientific study
saying greatest selling rapper, that doesn't matter. I like the rhyme scheme. Maybe you were influenced by Eminem. But man, how much hate does he get though from that? From people who are like, he fell off. He fell off with recovery. And we know that he got criticized for it, but man, has he come back swinging. I mean, Kamikaze, Music to Be Murdered By, A side and B side. I mean, we've broken it down. I mean, we've seen it. If people doubt Eminem and his talent today, show them this channel, please, because we go bar for bar and we explain the doubles and the triples and the technicals and the wordplay and what makes him great. And he's still putting out just absolute classics. Darkness is going to be a classic for many years to come. I mean, just the political commentary that it makes, the fact that the whole song is just a crazy, cleverly written double, the surprise of it. Yeah, I mean, just so many iconic stuff, iconic features, putting on Black Thought, Royce the 5'9", what he does for hip hop. How are you going to say that Eminem has fallen off when he's still doing the numbers that he's doing? I mean, that's your opinion. And maybe you don't like the music he's putting out later on. But, you know, I don't understand the argument when people are like, we want the old Eminem, right? Because he's never going to be the old Eminem. As an artist, if you keep doing the exact same type of music, you're never going to evolve. You're never going to grow. You're never going to stay relevant. Honestly, you have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to try new things, to take risks. And if you're stuck in the same box making the same music that you made 10 years ago, I feel bad for you as an artist. So I never really understand when people throw that shade on Eminem. But anyways.
Greatest selling rapper, that doesn't matter. Perhaps this matters. A scientific study that showed that Eminem is indeed rated the greatest rapper according to rappers. But they
what is that? We actually have a study on this?
Always moved.
What are the variables that went into this study?
Goalposts, don't they? All this happened thanks to the fan base, and some came for the fans. God.
Yo, if anybody knows a little bit more on this scientific study that came out and wants to link it, please put it in the comment section below. I'll definitely check that out. It's interesting.
This happened thanks to the fan base, and some came for the fans. God, Eminem fans are the absolute worst. OMG, they disgust me. And some are confused. You hate a fandom just for praising their fave, or... And my take from this is that they hate the fandom because they keep supporting Eminem regardless of the media. He's been immune to their poor album reviews and stays winning, or...
Listen, Stevie and I talked about this on the podcast too. Like, how can you... I don't know, it's about loyalty with a fan base, isn't it? And what you have to respect and what I admire when you have artists like Eminem, when you have artists like Tom McDonald, Dax, Easy Mill, these people who develop these very loyal fan bases. And yeah, sometimes the loyalty can go in the wrong direction. Sometimes you can get hated ignorantly because of it. But what you have to admire is just the amount of support that they have. And when you create that loyalty and you cultivate that type of following with your fan base, I mean, that to me, that is the real talent of an artist, to be able to connect with their fans and to have that emotional connection. So you have to respect it. So, you know, I never get too upset. I always take it with a grain of salt when I run into passionate fans, because I'm like, wow, you know, more credit and more kudos to the artist for being able to get you to connect with them in that way and to get you to feel that way about their music. And let's face it, I mean, it's the stands. It is the die-hard Eminem fans that have kept supporting him no matter what he's tried, even in, you know, the recovery days, even when he's putting more singers on hooks and doing more sort of pop type of songs, or even when he's going into the dark twisted world of Slim Shady, or even when he's coming out of that and he's being like the hip hop head now, and you have Music to Be Murdered By, right? And he's paying homage on a lot of tracks. Like, you know, Eminem has taken us on a journey, and he's so versatile as an artist. But what you have to give him credit for is that fan base. Those stands just... wow. I mean, they take it to another level.
Regardless of the media, he's been immune to their poor album reviews and stays winning, all because of the fans.
Facts.
It wasn't too long ago that many tried to downplay Eminem's global impact for the hip-hop genre, as many claimed he wasn't the first to tour outside the United States, which is true. But how many rappers before him sold out stadiums as the headliner in Europe, Africa, Australia, and Asia? Hence this reaction. They said he never took hip-hop global. People forget that there's a big difference between headlining stadiums and performing in arenas, 50 to 90,000 compared to what, 4,000? And despite Eminem's record in Australia, New Zealand, Abu Dhabi, South Africa, the list goes on and on. Check out this reaction to that post. Wembley doesn't mean global. LL, Wu-Tang, Public Enemy, Beatle, etc. all been touring Europe before M. That's certainly a head-scratcher, as that's not the point. And the initial user response, Run DMC, MC Hammer, etc. Yeah, I know, but having packed a stadium in a country that doesn't do hip-hop is called what? For the 2014 Eminem Rapture Tour, he sold 315,000 tickets in 8 shows. I repeat, in 8 shows, split between Australia, New Zealand,
crazy
South Africa
numbers.
and England. But let's focus on, in quotes, Wembley doesn't mean global. Before we get to some more...
Yes, Wembley does imply global because you're going over to England. And I know it's all relative because now the grime movement is really taking off and it's really getting more mainstream appeal. But there's still a large chunk of the British population that didn't listen to rap or still doesn't listen to rap today. But I remember when I played in my first tournament and we went over and we played in Manchester, and the first time I heard rap on the radio over there, it was Eminem. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating, so won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. I mean, that was taking over the radio. And like we talked about, the crossover effect that Eminem had within the United States of all of a sudden converting non-rap listeners to now listening to hip-hop, to now exploring rap. The same thing happened globally with what Eminem did. I mean, look at the impact that he still has today. Look at the following that he has in places like India, like the UK, like Australia. I mean, it just goes to show what he's done. And Wembley is a huge stadium, people. He's selling out stadiums across the world. It's not just within the United States. You have to appreciate the level of fame. And listen, man, it's all about respect at the end of the day. Listen, you cannot like his music. Right? You cannot like him as an artist, but what you have to do, it's like watching an athlete that you don't like. Like a lot of people hate LeBron James, but at the end of the day, when he wins a ring, all you have to do is stand back and go, I respect that. Just give people the respect that they deserve. No one says that you have to hold hands and skip along through a daisy field with him, but yeah, some people just take things to another level, don't they? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Here are a few examples to put the next exchange in perspective. In 1980, Bob Marley performed in front of 120,000 people in the sold-out San Siro Stadium in Milan. In 1992, Michael Jackson sold out 90,000 at the Bucharest National Stadium. Some of you can already predict where I'm going with this because of the typical Eminem hater on Twitter, as when Eminem does 90,000 at Wembley, we get this. Well, he freaking white, so there's that. And that one sparked this reaction. Funny how you bring shade into this. Moving on to the next point, King Crooked recently joined...
We've seen other artists talk about this. Eminem has talked about this himself. I feel like he's always going to have that chip on his shoulder because he's a white rapper. And there is always inevitably going to be people who want to call him a guest in the house of hip-hop. No matter how much he gives back to hip-hop, no matter what he does, there's going to be people who insist that he is a guest, and they'll not only apply that to Eminem, they'll apply that to every single white rapper, and they'll always want to remind them of that. And it is a shame because if you look at the scale and the scope of hip-hop today and how global it has become, I mean, to me, hip-hop just exceeds color. It exceeds race. It exceeds class as well. I mean, it just touches so many lives around the world. I mean, look at the impact of hip-hop in India. Look at the impact of hip-hop in the UK now, in Australia. You know, we've got K-pop. We've got rappers coming through there. China as well. I mean, everywhere around the world, so many different races and so many different people now embracing hip-hop on a global scale. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, listen, haters gonna hate. And the more haters that you get, well, I guess that means the more success that you have. And we know how successful Eminem is, which means he's going to have a hell of a lot of haters. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was just a little something different. Just wanted to mix it up for you guys. If you guys come across interesting videos, stuff you think I should react to outside of just doing music, I'm open to it. Send it to me. My DMs are always open. Comment down below, guys. Share it with me. Tag me on socials. You know, I'll take it on board and I'll try to get to it if I can. But anyways, appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with me. Be sure to subscribe, notifications on, support the channel directly. I love you. Stay safe, stay positive. I'll catch you again. I'm out.